What's going on YouTube, Fesify Media? This is the story episode 42 and we're going to be doing XXXTentacion. Well requested on a video of what happened to him when he's passing. I said to you guys, if that video hits a certain amount of likes, we'll do the full story and we're going to be doing it today. Let's try and smash this video to 1,000 likes as well, and comment below who you want to see on the story next as always. X was born January 23rd, 1998 in Florida of the USA. His interest in music initially started after his auntie persuaded him to begin attending the school choir and later church choir. He was soon kicked out of the school choir after attacking another student. X attended a middle school from which he was later expelled after a series of physical altercations. He was even seen before the fame getting into one. He had an angry side when he was young.
Oh shit.
Hey, what happened?
So XXX name stems from unknown temptation. That's the meaning behind it. As far as where he's from, he's Jamaican, Syrian, he's got a hint of Indian and Italian. These are the stuff he's expressed in interviews. He also said in that interview a part of him felt like he had died. He's alive and he's passionate about the things he does, but he fell in love with the wrong person, and you can really feel that pain in his music that he expresses when he talks about love. And I do feel like he's one of the most relatable rappers we've had in our era. Now, before we talk about his proper music rise and his introduction to the game, he had a setback by getting put in jail by a girl that he was with, and she screwed him over. So we've talked about him getting kicked out of school and the anger issues he's had, and also we talked about the girl that screwed him over who later caused legal issues for him. But let's get into the whole legal issues stories now. As far as X's legal issues, in late 2012, X was arrested for possession of 21 grams of marijuana, a felony in Florida law, and he was sentenced to 1 month in juvenile detention at a correctional facility. Shortly after his release, he was arrested again for breaking into a house to steal a laptop in order to create music. In 2014, X was sent to a youth detention center for a year on gun possession charges. According to X, during his time in detention, the district attorney was attempting to try him as an adult for gun possession, which would have sentenced him for 5 to 10 years in prison. X's narrative of his time in youth detention has been disputed by sources in interviews of a 2020 biography. He may have served 1 month's detention as a part of a wider sentence or less than 1 year, and his charges cannot be released as public files as he was just a juvenile. Then we move on to the stabbing of Dylan Turner. Dylan Turner, a New Jersey native studying at university, managed XXX and Ski Mask in 2016. Due to an inexperience in music and Turner's inexperience in management, they agreed that Turner would be paid only in the proceeds from the song Look at Me. When the amount grew rapidly, an angry X broke into Turner's apartment, stole his laptop, and allegedly stabbed him. Turner required emergency surgery and suffered life-changing injuries. While the loss of his work on his laptop ended his career, he pledged to drop charges against X if his computer could be returned, and stuck to his word despite all his files being deleted. And in July 2016, days after being bailed for allegedly stabbing Dylan Turner, X was arrested and charged with robbery, assault and a deadly weapon and a home invasion committed nearly 2 years earlier. According to the arrest report, X entered a home with 3 other people armed with a firearm. After pistol whipping Thomas 3 times, X escaped with an iPad, an iPhone and a PlayStation and $20. X was arrested, he was transferred to Orange County, and it was said that his constant relocations were due to an eventually successful plan by prosecutors to find a jurisdiction that would charge him as an adult for a crime committed as a juvenile. But he was paroled in September 2016. So this is where an ex of his really screwed him over. While he was on bail, she made up false charges about him, which later people showed phone calls that they weren't even real, that she was pretending to be pregnant in the situation and everything. She made charges against him of false imprisonment, witness tampering, and aggravated battery of a pregnant victim, which eventually he's spending some time inside for. Despite numerous trial dates getting delayed as well, X spent some time in jail, then would come back around March of 2018. So X was starting to blow off his single Look at Me, but when he come out of jail, he was angry at Drake, as Drake had allegedly ripped off his tune with UK rapper gigs. It sounded very similar, and he was saying that Drake was copying a song, and he even spoke to him from inside, and he didn't think Drake would do something like that. He was very angry at Drake at first after just coming out, but then the situation sort of fizzled out in the coming months. As far as X's musical rise, we're going to talk about some of his most notable work. Of course, Look at Me on 468 million views. Then he had the song F Love with Trippie Redd. That's got 350 million. He had songs like Carry On over 100 million hits. Save Me and Revenge both got over 100 million as well. Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares on 307 million. Also on that same project, he had this song referencing suicide for Jocelyn Flores, who passed away, rest in peace. That's on 572 million views. A massive, massive project. Not long after, we'd see another side to X. Over 30 million hits on YouTube is him helping and giving back to people. This is another side to X that people were seeing, despite all the negative stuff he was handed to him in the past and a tough upbringing. On his next project, we'd see songs like Changes and also Sad. These songs have done massive numbers, 691 million on Changes and 1 billion on Sad, and he's even got music videos to them. Also, the song Moonlight is on almost 800 million views, which the music video for it was released sadly after X had passed away. And since his passing, there's been a lot more great music released. This guy was so talented and left behind so much music which can be released years down the line, still to this day. It's crazy. I've already made a video about what happened to him when he's passing and the story on that, and there's going to be updates in the future on that court case, so make sure you guys stay subscribed, and I will leave a link to the What Happened to XXX video on this. I am planning on making a full documentary, which is going to take me a very, very long time to edit, which will be about 30-40 minutes on the whole X situation. There's a lot more stuff to get into. This is just a brief story on X. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video. Peace out.
Okay, guys, so basically this is what I wanted to explain today, just based off of what I've learned in the amount of time that I've been alive, experiencing love for that matter. Okay, so to understand the other person's nature, understand their patterns, understand how they are as a person is the most important thing, and to have self-love while loving is a very important thing, because look at it this way. If you fall in love with someone, right, and you start to see that, all right, this person is bipolar, right, and that some days they'll wake up very good, some days they'll wake up very bad, some days won't be like the other, you know what I'm saying, that they have no control of their nature. You'll understand that nature, and in understanding that nature, you can thoroughly observe them and really watch their actions. So when no relationship or in no situation is disrespect in any shape or form tolerable, you need to increase your self-love. You need to increase the amount of time that you spend with yourself. Get off of the cell phone, get off the internet, be a person and learn how to love yourself, so that way we can end this cycle of destruction, we can end this cycle of hate, and we can start experiencing more love, and there will be more love in the streets, more genuine love, more genuine care for people. You can't care for someone if you don't love yourself, and really the world can be destroyed in that way. So the only way to really be a better person and ascend into a different light of relationship or love is to love yourself. And I know that sounds crazy, but I left off. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds hard. I know it sounds tiring. But it's better than really being like a drone and basically only living in anger and hate and living in regret. Like, don't live in regret. There's no point in living in regret. There's no point in living in negativity. Like, I'm not trying to be some pseudoscience motherfucker talking about crazy shit. I'm not even talking about religion, bro. I'm just telling, bro, you can't even be in a religion, bro, if you don't know yourself, bro. If you can't worship something if you don't know yourself, bro. You have to love yourself. You have to understand yourself. You have to take a second to sit down to thoroughly observe your patterns. Do you move when you don't want to move? Do you get angry when you don't want to get angry? You have to fix these things about yourself. You have to give a fuck about yourself, and that makes life so much better. Like, I'm learning to do it now, and it makes life 10 times better. It makes you feel better. It makes you more tolerable about. All right. So let's look at it this way. This is what I want you to do. You cannot consider yourself a follower or supporter of me if you do not do this. If you do not do this, do not follow me. Do not call yourself a fan. Do not speak to me. Do not comment on my pictures. Let me drown in the hate of the world. Look, I want you to start a journal. I want you to start a journal, and I want you to start writing down your thoughts. For now, write down in your journal, create and evolve. Now, the purpose of creation will be in your journal will be to create different goals for yourself, different things you want to do or different things you want to be, and see and to play with that as a purpose, and to play with that as a pattern and a schedule. It will create a schedule to evolve, to evolve, to evolve your current state of mind.